Good everyone, Organized for doing today we have a Forgotten Vehicles episode on the Dornier 217 J-1 Heavy Fighter. Now believe it or not, I've actually just come back from a 2-week break from the game. After the event had finished, well I say finished, after I'd finished my grind, because I only wanted the SU-76D, you're going to be seeing that in a premium showcase video that I've been requested. Um, And believe it or not, I decided, you know what, this event is far too toxic for my liking. I'm going to take a nice 2-week break off and just recharge my batteries. So that's exactly what I've done. Everything you've seen in terms of videos has either been old footage that I needed to get out or, um, shall we say, like footage that was recent, but before I took my break. So yeah, some older stuff might have been used, like the P63, which you'll see down a lot. Well, in fact, I think you would have seen it by now. Um, but yeah, that's what has been going on recently. I mean, I thought if I just take a 2-week break just to recharge my batteries, I'll come back and feel as fresh as ever, and I pretty much do. So the Dornier 217 J-1 is certainly a plane that has not got a very good reputation. The only thing it does good is head-ons, really. It's got 4 20mm MG FFM cannon with 200 shots each, which is pretty dang good for the BR. It's also got quad 7.92 MG17 machine guns with 700 rounds between them, which is excellent. And that's pretty much where the good start, or the good stuff ends, because the rear gunners, I mean, at this BR they're okay, but yeah, not at the BRs that you can get up to, like 3.0 and stuff like that. Those rear gunners ain't really going to be doing squat. And in terms of external payload, well, I say external, more like internal. In terms of internal payload, these Dorniers weren't exactly meant for that sort of job. I mean, they could carry a couple of bombs, like the 850s I've got on the plane, but that was only if it was doing night intrusion. So it wasn't necessarily something that is a priority for this aircraft. And I know some people have like they've wanted to see these Dorniers for a while, and you would have seen a video on the 217N2 by now. And don't worry, it's down there, so don't worry, it's coming soon. But I've never really played these things that much. Sure, I spaded them, but I spaded them as ground pounders, and anyone who was dumb enough to get or take a head on, I should say, with the guns would meet the end of the guns, because, well, they're very strong guns. But that would usually result in either my aircraft being crippled or me being outright just well, taken out of the sky. And these things just didn't appeal to me. And well, I did have that good run in the N2 that you saw, but I don't know how this is going to go. And funny enough, this is my very first match back into the game, so you get to witness a whole lot of things. Now, another thing to point out is you may see down there in the lineups, showcase part 1, 2, 3, etc. I've been requested to do a premium showcase. Problem is, I've got that many freaking premiums, I'm going to have to do it in separate parts, so look forward to that. Anyway, let's get into the match and let's get cracking. I didn't hear a sound then. That was weird. Hold on. Never mind. It's because I've not been back in the game for a while, so my ears aren't as tuned for the game at the minute. Because I've been at the game for just over 2 weeks, so it was a good break to take, though. I mean, I'm certainly not regretting it. So in terms of ammunition setup, I've got the plane set to 500 meters convergence, doesn't really matter. Stealth on both guns, armor targets on the 13s, and the bomb load carried. Okay, it feels weird being back in the game, you know. Like I say, I thought if I just get it done and dusted, I mean, you get to see a rusty Joe get back in the game. Well, I say rusty. I've had longer breaks than 2 months. In fact, is it just me or does this sound a little quiet? Probably because I've had to tone down my volume a little bit. Let me just turn that up a bit. Bit more engine volume. That should do it. Yeah, that sounds a little louder. It's because I've obviously not been playing any real games on my PC lately. I mean, I say that I've been playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh whilst I took my 2-week break. I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh, so I thought me and the mod team will spend our time just relaxing really, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. So, I think we're top dog. That's rare. This should be interesting. Now, we don't really have the climb rate to get up to the bombers quickly, but if we make this, shall we say, if we keep at this angle, we should be okay. I think this should be okay. But yes, I've got that many bloody premiums, I'm gonna have to do it in parts, and yeah, it's gonna take a while. By the way, Harry, I'd love to see you do a premium showcase, because I know you have more premiums than I do. It would be funny, because most of the time you'd just be saying, this is trash, I only got it because it was cheap, and I got it for free or something like that. That's pretty much how you'd expect most premiums of Harry's to be said about, but still. So team's starting to climb quite decently. There is a PBY which is looking nice and juicy. The problem is I don't know if I'll get up there in time. Okay, BB1 down there, I-16, B-17. D3's approaching from a very bad point on a PBY. That is not a position you want to approach from. I mean, we'd be okay, because we've got both armor and we've got the firepower. Okay, you're here to help, good. I might be able to pop the flaps and pull up for a shot here, but I doubt it. Because this thing is a bit of a bus. Let's try it. Flaps, come up. I'll fire a short burst. Critical, yeah, I got a crit, that's something. Tuck flaps in. Yeah, it looks like we nailed one of the engines at least. So that's good. That's something. Might make my teammates' job later down the line a bit easier. Quite a few biplanes, that's unusual. But okay. You know, because I don't see that many biplanes, you just don't expect it really. Okay, I-15 down there. We're going to go for this Hawk next. It's a P-36A. Problem is my fat wing is in the way. Ow. I'm not a very good shot with the 13 back gunners, but I can certainly give it a try. He's trying to spike me. I could have gone for that I-15 if I'd have thrown it over hard enough, but I thought, nah, there's really no point. Not yet, anyway. Hawk looks like he's running, that's fine. By the way, in terms of how many matches this thing has played, from what I found, less than 12. You heard that right, less than. Oh Jesus, come up, up you go. You big sack of shit, come on. Come on. Okay, he's dead, good. What's that, B11? He's over there. You never know, later on we might get a crit and a kill on that PBY. I'm gonna make my way over to these guys though. This thing does not feel nice to fly though, the problem is with it is it feels tail heavy, like not just tail heavy, but it's a heavy fighter itself, but at the same time it just doesn't feel right. Like the control surfaces just don't seem to be doing the aircraft justice, if that makes sense. The ailerons just don't feel right, the rudders feel okay, but just nah. Ah, you got it, but traded with the plane anyway. What a dumbass. Well, there's not really much for us to do right now. Let's go do some ground pounding, because this thing's pretty good at that job. And plus, we have the bombs to take out of base anyway. And that Key 43 just tried to cap the runway. Okay. I mean, I suppose this is low tier, so I'm just going to ignore that. He just needs to go watch my basic ARB transitioning guide and he'll be in good shape. which quite a lot of people seem to appreciate that. It's certainly something I need to do more in the future, like more guides, but I just don't know how I'm going to do them yet. Right, coming in on my first strafing run. This is not a particularly good angle, but I really couldn't give a toss. Where you going, kid? I'm a lot bigger than you. Jesus Christ. If that doesn't tell you how shit the guns are on the back, that'll tell you. Like, they do some work, but it's very situational. Okay, A29 is dead. Good. So that just leaves that PBY and something else. Okay, he's dealing with those. So let's go for that base over there. There's something coming off the runway. That might have been that Hawk from earlier. This fuel tank is still leaking, but that's nothing new. Yeah, it's the Hawk from earlier. That's okay. Come here, Mr. Hawk. He's lucky this thing handles like a boss, otherwise he would not have made it back to his airfield. But unfortunately, this thing is not exactly... Well, it's got a bit of junk in the trunk, you know? I don't really want the fuel vapor in my face, but I don't really have much of a choice. I don't think he wants to engage us at the moment. I think he's chasing the the Key 27. So what I'll do is I'll try and distract him by using the 850 kilogram bombs and using this thing as a slight dive bomber. Okay, the Hawk won that trade, not surprised. And bombs away. So no one ever in this plane. And that was enough for the base. Sweet. Excellent. I don't think the Hawk notices us, but that's pretty much just won us the game right there. PBY's coming this way. I could swing round for him and just kamikaze him, to be honest, because I really don't care. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's swing it round. Why not? Let's go for a YOLO run. Let's get nice and low. Trying to increase airspeed, which is kind of funny because this thing does not accelerate very well. Just gotta hope the AA guns don't start opening up yet. And that was the sound of the flak opening up. Yep, Jesus Christ, that was a big hit. There you go, that's what the guns can do if you get them on target. That's probably going to be our first and only kill. Ow. Ow. Stop. Stop it. That's enough. Alright, you scratched the paint. Is that enough? Ow. Ow. Stop. Is that enough? No, it's still not done. I see Tracer. Okay, I'm going to let off the web, just not overheat my engines as quickly. Ow. Okay, that's enough. I'm nearly 3 miles away. Jesus. Yeah, he's screwed. He's got the Key 27 all over him. Ow. I mean, this thing took it like a champ, but even then. How's the Hawk doing? Well, he's not having a good day at the office. That's for definite. Yeah, this thing, don't fly it. And that's GG. I mean, not exactly a stellar run, but it's a 217 J-1. I'll take what I can get. Good lord, tail surfaces are shot to shit. Yeah, we're not in good shape, but we'll be okay. The game's over anyway. 6th place on the team, 1 air kill, 1 grand, just over 0.1 of a ton of bombing. Not exactly what I would call a stellar run, and I noticed how close I was to my CL13 then. Not exactly what I would call an amazing run, but it's a 217 J1. As I said, I'll take what I can get. Of course, this aircraft really is not worth playing. It's just the problem is with the German heavy fighters is the majority of them suck. If we go down the actual line itself, you've got the 17Z2 or Z7, which sucks. You've got the 217Js, which suck. The J-88C6, which used to be amazing, now sucks. You've got the 110s, which are pretty decent, but then you go back to 217s, and these are crap. But then you go back to 110s, which are amazing. Then you go to 410s, which are pretty okay. And then you get to the 335s, and you're just like, what? But unfortunately, this thing is just not worth flying, I'm afraid. As much as it was nice to land that stealth shot on that Catalina and one-shot it, it is still a 217 heavy fighter. And the next one, this is 27 for some reason. Yeah, that's not going to be fun. But I hope you enjoyed today's episode on the Dornier 217 J1, and I will catch you all on the next one.